This is Clarity Coach Lucy, and welcome to this Tuesday Talks at 3 today. This is episode 3 of the WellWoman Series, a series that celebrates women's health. Women's health in this month of March as we continue to celebrate the International Women's Day. And we're taking this right through to the end of the month. Thank you so much for being with us. This series has got 4 episodes, and the first episode was on diabetes. In this episode, we encourage a lifestyle of making me time. Oh, that was powerful. I absolutely loved that one. You know, it was about making me time. It was about rethinking your diet. And that was something that got me thinking and changing a few things here about how I think about my diet, how I consume my diet, and what it is that I do. In the blood pressure episode, which was our second one, the advice that we got on that rethinking of the diet was, do not compromise. Do not compromise. So you've decided this is what you're going to do. So what you want to be able to move forward on that is to ensure that you do it as required. So, I beg your pardon. Fred Gichuki is our health coach today and has been for the last 2 episodes. And he was very specific about what our plate needed to look like. So if you're going to rethink your diet, think matters of what your plate looks like colorfully. And if your plate is supposed to be rainbow colors, then that's what you're going to stick to. Don't compromise. Don't take shortcuts. Don't say, I will start tomorrow. Start today. Well, today, talking about today, we seek to find out great ways or tips of how to manage our own gut health. You hear about this all. In our last episode, we will be looking at managing healthy skin. Now, a little bit about myself as Fred, our health coach, comes in and just logs in with us. I am lactose intolerant. Oh, I see Fred is there. Hello, Fred. How are you?
Hello.
Great to see you there. I was just breaking down my history, my medical history when it comes to gut health. And I don't know whether you're aware, Fred, I am lactose intolerant. So I get flatulence. And for those of you who do not know what I'm referring to, when you get flatulence means you get this uncomfortable feeling in your tummy, in your gut. You feel bloated, you feel nauseous. Now, this is my story. And I did not know that I was lactose intolerant as I was growing up. I just knew that I kept on getting these feelings, at different times of the day. I then started to take notice of when I was getting them. And it so happened that it was the dairy products that I was consuming. So whether it was milk, whether it was cream, whether it was butter, I found then that after an hour, I began to get this discomfort. So now I stay away from milk. I do not consume cheese. Yes, you heard me right. I have never eaten a pizza. A pizza as you know it, that has cheese on top. I actually just eat unleavened bread with some vegetables on it if I must. And then that is my pizza. But then I really don't need it. I came to realize that my black tea works very well. My black coffee works very well. Although there's a disclaimer there, Fred. I used to love my cappuccino and my mocha. But then I realized now I have to manage what time of the day I consume these so that it can work out naturally throughout the day. The gas, the irritability. Throughout the day, I still have the energy to work it out naturally. Now, if I really must take the dairy products, then I will take it with some medication, which is sad, Fred, and I know you're about to hit me over the head with that. Now, together with that, Fred, I'm also prone to reflux. So reflux meaning that at times I get really, full and nauseous, like I want to throw up, like whatever is in my tummy wants to come up. It kind of feels like that little valve on the esophagus is opened so that I can feel myself burping. I can smell the food. It's not a comfortable feeling. And I can assure you, with age, these particular conditions have just become more uncomfortable. They have increased in discomfort. So my lactose intolerance, which then leads to flatulence, and my reflux, they get really worse. And I know of people who have a reaction just like I have, but to different things like tomatoes, you know, the acidity in tomatoes, things like spices and chilies. Oh, and I love my spices and chilies, and I know what happens after that. So, Fred, I'm saying that it is vital to listen to your body and work with it. What are your thoughts, Fred?
Yes, absolutely. You're right. It is very important to listen to your body and to know what works for you and what does not work for you, and really adjust to that, and be able to not to really stress your body unnecessarily. However, there are interventions that can help. You see, most of the time, the body will give you certain results based on certain the nutrients that you give it, based on what you're eating, and that kind of thing. If you're lactose intolerant, then there's a deficiency in your body that actually causes that. And there is a way that you can be able to address that. And I'm glad that you're having this conversation, because it will give people a chance to see that you can actually take charge of your gut, based on what you eat and what you don't eat, the things, the do's and the don'ts. You can ensure that you have a healthy gut that will actually not have so many complications in terms of too much gas, or feeling bloated, or even acidity, just having a lot of acidity in your body. Um, you can actually avoid that based on the diet that you are eating, and based on your lifestyle. And today I believe that as we have the conversation, we'll be able to unpack it and see how can somebody have a healthy gut, even with the lifestyle that we're living today.
Wow, it's amazing that, yes, so I'm hearing that we indeed need to listen to our bodies. So my body is telling me that I do have a deficiency. In fact, at times I question the things that I don't take in dairy. What kind of vitamins am I missing? Or what kind of nutrients am I missing by not consuming this dairy? But then also I hear that there are certain interventions that can be done, and I'd love to hear about this. I'm sure that for women, this is a big thing, and especially when we approach menopause, when our body begins to do its own things, what things should we be aware of? So for the younger women, what should they be feeding their bodies with, so that when their body begins to naturally age, it doesn't go into worse discomforts like mine does? And then when we're listening to our body, we need to know the things that we should eat and that we shouldn't. And I'm smiling right now because in my research, as I was putting together my part of it, this word superfoods kept on coming up. What are superfoods? Superfoods. And man, I looked at that list, Fred, and I thought to myself, half of those things I do not eat because of what it does to my body. Now, I'll give you one example, which is a work in progress actually happening. One of the superfoods is natural yogurt. And for whatever things it does to my body, I know it is good. The biggest one for women is yeast, because this natural yogurt is able to combat that yeast. And every other woman deals with that situation of yeast. But just coming back to me being lactose intolerant, and I know that yogurt is good for me, I have compromised over time. So I take my yogurt first thing in the morning with my muesli, because I know what it does for me. However, because I do not like the taste of the natural yogurt, I take my flavored yogurt. So in my mind, I know I'm taking yogurt. And I know, Fred, you're going to say that there should be no compromise, Lucy. It's either natural, or don't lie to yourself that the flavored one is doing anything. And that is on yogurt. Being a superfood, but it has to be in its natural state. The other superfood is ginger. You know, Fred, I discovered that drinking a mug of warm ginger tea 30 minutes after I eat helps my digestion. So in the evenings, you catch me with this warm cup, warm mug. And really, I feel maybe it's a placebo effect, but when I don't do that, I have a restless night, and it's about my tummy. So ginger, I try to put fresh ginger in everything that I do. Lentils is another one, Fred. Now, the relationship with lentils and me is a beautiful one. When I eat lentils, I get very gaseous, and therefore I should not be touching these lentils. However, I love lentils, Fred. I have lentils in my salad. I have lentils as a stew. I have lentils as a spread. I have lentils, I make them as falafel. If you know what falafel is, you soak them in water overnight, you blend them, you put spices, and then you deep fry them and you have them with a dip. Lentils, lentils, lentils. So I know that on the day that I eat lentils, we are asking for trouble. So again, I have my medication with me. So lentils is a superfood. So for those who will not react the way I do, lentils is a great superfood. And then leafy greens. Those are the three that I chose from that list, because that list had so many. And those things I don't eat, but at least these ones I dance with, I engage. So with my leafy greens, I like to take the traditional greens. That's what I eat. And my spinach. Kale or sukuma wiki is hard on my tummy, so I avoid it like the plague. So these are the superfoods, these 4 superfoods that I consume. Fred, what are your thoughts on women and superfoods, the ones we should have on our list, market list? What is it that we should be doing, Fred?
Well, superfood, I mean, it's good when it's a fancy name
Yes.
for what you should be eating at any one time. Um, if you look at the wellness pyramid that is given by WHO, they say that second on your plate, more than 50% of your plate should be whole grain. Then they talk about fruits and vegetables, and they say that in a day you should be having 9 different types, different colored fruits and vegetables. Now, when you look at the list of superfoods, you actually realize that most of them fall in that category, in the leafy greens and the fruits and the veggies. And I mean, that we should be taking a lot of that, because that is protective food. And now when you come back, there's also this fad that goes around, and people are talking about probiotics and stuff like that. And you find that the leafy greens form a base for your probiotics. They give your body roughage. They create a bolus for food to move down the system. If you're high on your leafy greens and your superfoods, you will not have constipation. You will not have gas, unless you have an allergic reaction. Now, if you have an allergic reaction to a certain food, then it just means that your body is not producing the hormones to digest that. And for you to get that, you need a complete protein. And the company that I work with, we have what we call a Neolife shake. It's a protein shake with 22 amino acids, which means it's a complete protein with all the amino acids that exist in nature. Now, when you get that protein shake, it gives your cells the right kind of proteins, and the cell is able now to do what it's supposed to do. So you're able to sort out the food allergies, whether it is being lactose intolerant, or there are some people when they eat eggs or they eat certain foods, they get an allergic reaction. You won't believe it. Some people, when they eat avocado, they get headaches, migraine headaches. I mean, there are different kind of food allergies that people get. And the good thing is that we have a solution, again, from food, because the shake I'm talking about is made from pulses. It's made from grains. It's not made, I mean, it's not, there's nothing unique about it.
Yeah.
It's just a concentrate from the pulses, and it actually helps your body now to produce the enzymes to digest the food. So you'll be able now to enjoy your meals nicely. But I like what you're doing. I like. That is the way to go. I wish everybody out there was doing exactly what you're doing. We would have less incidents of diabetes. We would have less incidents of autoimmune diseases, osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, and the like. Because when you're eating your fruits and vegetables, they are protective foods, and they actually protect your body from so many diseases, cancer included. And I would say get the list of superfoods, see how many you can put on your plate, and go for it, and stick to it, and keep doing it. Keep doing it. It's a good thing. But something else I also want to add is very quickly, just to throw in there, make sure that you're getting sufficient amount of fluids in. And by fluids, I recommend a glass or two of warm water before you brush your teeth in the morning. That's the best time to do it. You flush out your system. Some people like putting lime in it. I have no problem with that. But you need a glass or two so that you can flush out the waste of yesterday's food that was digested, and then you'll find that you're now ready for the new day. And what will happen to you is that the moment you take it, you'll find that you'll run for a short call, you'll run for a long call, and now your system is ready for the new day, for the new food that you're going to be ingesting. Now, this doesn't happen when you first wake up and you take breakfast, then you take water. Now you've messed it up. You need to take water before you take your breakfast, so that because that's why we call it breakfast. You are fasting for 7 hours at night, and the body is digesting what is already there. So you need to cleanse that out. And remember one thing: your system, the digestive system, works like a cistern. A cistern without water won't flush. So if you're not getting in enough water, then your system will not flush, and you'll have constipation, you'll have flatulence, and you'll have reflux, and that kind of thing. So if you do that in the morning, then you find that you flush out that waste, you get in new food, and your system is ready to go.
Wow, thank you for those gems. I wrote them down. The first thing is natural and organic Neolife shake, because that replaces the hormones that I need to digest. How many of us are suffering and we don't even know that our allergic reactions to foods is just that we don't have those hormones to digest that particular food in our body. So Neolife shake, I'm definitely coming for that. Fred, superfoods, you say that's just a fancy name for the foods we're supposed to be eating. I hear you, definitely. It's good to go back, just go back to Google, guys, and just look for what superfoods are for you. And especially as women, because our bodies go through this hormonal change. So those same hormones that we are saying we don't have to digest, they kind of shift in life. So you want to start when you are young. Start building up your body, fortifying your body with these natural ingredients, and use the supplements as Fred is saying. And then sufficient fluids, a glass or two of warm water first thing in the morning flushes your system. So it's like a cistern. We need warm water to get it going, not cold water. Fred was very specific about warm water. Fred, while I still have you there, you mentioned probiotics. Now, I hear there's probiotics and there's prebiotics. How do these help our bodies? Driving through Nairobi now, there are all these big billboards with images of people holding a smiling face on their tummy. Talk to us about these biotics.
Okay. Now, the exciting thing, as I was hearing you talking about the superfoods,
yes,
I said, I think you're in the spirit, because if we start with prebiotics, because probiotics won't work if you don't have prebiotics.
okay.
And prebiotics, by definition, you'll find that they are natural fiber that exists in the fruits that we take, in the vegetables that we take. They are non-digestible. The body doesn't really digest them, but they form a basis for now the probiotics, for the good bacteria.
Okay.
Support the good bacteria in the body. And we are talking about fiber, mainly fiber, plant fiber, fruit fiber. And when you look at the superfoods and the veggies that you're talking about, they provide this kind of roughage. And when you're now, if you are good on this, then now you go to the probiotics. Now you bring in the the yogurts, the natural yogurts and the like, so that now you're getting the good probiotics in. You need to have a basis of the prebiotics. Now, if your diet is full of pizzas and burgers and all these processed foods, you don't have the prebiotics in your diet. If you're not eating your vegetables, you don't have the prebiotics in your diet. So even if you're taking that healthy yogurt, that probiotic, it still won't help you because the base is wrong. Yeah. So you need to sort that one out. And I want just to add something else. There's something else that our body produces. And by the time you reach the age of 50, it produces less than 50% of this. We call it CoQ10. CoQ10. Now, CoQ10 is a very important nutrient in our body. And what it does is that it actually goes to the mitochondria of your cells. And it helps the cells to function the way God intended them to function. So the cells are able to fire up. The cells are able to function if you have enough CoQ10. Now, when you're young, the body produces it naturally. But for it to produce enough CoQ10 for your body to function properly, then you need to have enough fresh fruit and vegetables in your diet. So we are going back to the superfoods. If you have enough of the superfoods in your diet, then the body produces enough CoQ10, so you'll have more energy. Now, if you look at our teenagers today, our young people, they're always complaining of fatigue, of tiredness, of, they're always tired. For some reason,
yes.
they're always...
Don't I know that? Yes. They're
I'm sure.
always fatigued.
And it's because if you look at their diet, they don't have enough prebiotics. They don't have enough vegetables. They don't have enough fruits in their diet. They're eating more of junk food. They'd rather eat spaghetti, Indomie, things that don't add value to the body.
Yes.
And the body is not producing enough CoQ10 even at an early age because you're not giving it the raw materials. So when you don't produce enough CoQ10, then the other challenging thing is that CoQ10 is responsible for the functioning of your internal organs. Yeah. So we are talking about your heart, your kidney, your brain, your reproductive organs. They need CoQ10 to fire up, to move. Your heart needs CoQ10. And now you're not getting your fruits and vegetables. So you find that at the end of the day, the body does not function. And that's why you're seeing many young people getting a lot of lifestyle diseases, because you hear somebody has diabetes, another one is becoming obese, and all these things. Because the internal organs are not functioning properly. The women are struggling to conceive because of lack of CoQ10. And it's because they are not eating enough fresh fruits and vegetables.
Yes.
So as we talk about prebiotics and probiotics, yes, it's good to go for the yogurt, but just know that if you're not eating your fruits and vegetables, you might just be wasting your money and your time because you're not providing the base for the probiotics to work in your body. That said, again, there's a supplement. There's a CoQ10 supplement. We sell a CoQ10 supplement that actually helps you to bring in the CoQ10 in a natural way to your body that helps your body now to start functioning properly. We also sell a product we call acidophilus. Acidophilus, it gives you the probiotics that you're looking for into your body. And one thing that I must say is that the Western world has really, they started supplementing in the 1930s, and they've really gone ahead with this. And that's why you find that life expectancy in places like America is over 75 years of age. At the age of 90, most of the people are still driving and they're on the road. In Germany, at 80 years of age, you become a bus driver for children going to school, because they start supplementing at a very early age, and their doctors always encourage protective medicine rather than curative. Rather than just focusing on curative, they do protective. So when you go to a doctor, before he prescribes for you a pill, he tells you your body is deficient in zinc, so you need to go and get supplements for this. And he recommends where to go and get them, whether they are 50% natural or they're 100% natural. You are the one to choose. But he tells you have deficiency of this, deficiency of that, and that's why your body is getting all these problems. So that becomes very constructive for them. So I would say that it's good to really get in there, get the probiotic, yes, but ask yourself, am I providing the right prebiotics for the
Yeah.
probiotic that I'm, yes.
Wow, thank you so much. I mean, the question out there was biotics, and tell us about biotics, and more importantly, the importance of biotics. And now you can hear, I'm talking to the audience now, that our health coach, Fred Gichuki, speaks about the foundation. The foundation is the prebiotics. So if you have not been having your leafy greens, you've not been having your plant-based diet that includes your fermented foods, you've not been working on your high fiber consumption, then if you follow what is on the billboards around Nairobi, that alone will just you consuming yogurt. It is not going to actively work in your body. However, you need to be cognizant of the fact that there are natural supplements out there. And there's one that had a very long name. I hope I'm pronouncing it well. Acidophilus. Acidophilus.
Acidophilus.
Acidophilus is one thing that has probiotics in it that you can use. CoQ10 is the one now that puts all these natural things back into your body, that fires up your cells in the way that God intended it to be. So I'm hearing three main things that we need to include in our diets by way of natural supplements. That is Neolife Shake, that is Acidophilus, and that is CoQ10. Oh, this is amazing. And as we come to the end of our session, I know that stress is one of the reasons why we have our guts, at times in a knot, literally. What can we do to reduce stress, Fred, as women?
Yes, I believe that the first thing that we need to do to reduce stress is get something to balance our hormones, because hormonal imbalance brings in a lot of problems, because you get a breakout, you're in pain, you have mood swings, you get sort of panic attacks for some women. It really gets rough. When you get into menopause, you get heat flashes and all that. And when you feel that you cannot function as a woman, that in itself brings in a lot of self-esteem issues and that kind of thing. So the first thing is that's one area of looking at it. You can get to balance your hormones. I would say we do have a product called Feminine Herbal that helps you to balance your hormones. That's number one. The other thing is get time for yourself. Last time we talked about me time, and be a bit selfish. Ladies tend to give too much of themselves. They never have time for themselves. They are there for the husband, for the son, for the daughter, for everybody, for the in-laws, for the outlaws, for everybody.
Yes, yes.
And everybody and they have nothing for themselves. So you need to get time for yourself. And people speak against chamas for women. Some men fear them, but for me, I encourage them, because I feel that bonding that happens in the chamas, of course, it's good to make it constructive. But it's part of the me time where you can go by yourself and just socialize, have a cup of tea with your girlfriend, and even if it's just one friend, and laugh your head off and just enjoy life. It helps to let off the steam. And one of the ways that ladies let off steam is by talking.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
they talk, and when things go haywire, they cry. And that's all good. That is very good, because it helps you to relax the body. Then the other important thing is that I would suggest is, again, sorry, I have to go back to the supplements.
Yes.
Because we have a product we call Aloe Vera Plus. Aloe Vera Plus. It's made from the aloe plant. It tastes like Coca-Cola. It's a very unique product. And Aloe Vera Plus will actually help you to relax. You'll find that you will be able to really relax, and the stresses of yesterday will be gone, and today will be a new day, and you'll be excited.
Thank you.
And these are natural products that is made from crops that grow in our neighborhood.
Yes.
But it's just, and they take the active ingredient, they make juice out of it, they flavor it with fructose, And you find that at the end of the day, you are so calm and so relaxed. And it will also help you to deal with things like ulcers. I mean, the problems that you have, flatulence, indigestion,
Wow.
all the issues that mess up your gut.
You are
Because whatever,
you're speaking to me, Fred. You're speaking to me.
oh
So
my, I
definitely,
didn't
but the
know
one
that.
I'm going to start with is a shake, because I
Okay.
heard that perhaps I'm deficient in some things, and therefore my body is not charging up the way it should. Thank you so much for the session today, and I'm very sure that the ladies here on the call have got some insights. And for the men who have joined us, thank you so much for joining us. You now know, for the ladies in your life, your mother, your auntie, your grandma, your sister, your significant other, your daughter, you then know that it is so important for women to watch what they eat, what they consume, because as we age, there are certain things that stop being produced in that same way, and we start to represent them like in monopause. Thank you so much, Jerry Maria. I can see that you're writing, probably need that. Yes, I need it, so I'm going for it. Fred, please drop your contacts in here in the chat so that people can get them. So takeaways as we finish our episode for today, which is managing a healthy gut. Number one, flush out your gut first thing in the morning. It's got to be warm water, guys. So exactly ensure that you have warm water, a mug of warm water that you take in. And he says, just like a system, things begin to move, there will be no constipation. I can see Fred has shared his number there. Please take note of the number. Number two, listen to your gut and work with it. You have heard of the foods that seem not to work with me, but I absolutely love them, and lentils are one of them. You can always side chat me for recipes on lentils. I absolutely love lentils. And on top of that, lentils have a big variety out there in the market. So you can get different colors of lentils and cook them in different ways. Number three is the intentional use of biotics. So remember, without the prebiotics that form the foundation, as our health coach has said, the probiotics will not mean anything in your life. You will just be consuming something. And I know, Fred, you keep on talking about the natural and organic supplements. If I had a fourth takeaway, it would be that. Thank you so much for joining us today. Next week, we will be taking you on to the part of our skin. Healthy skin, ladies. Who doesn't want a healthy skin? Who doesn't want to have healthy skin under that makeup or on the days of no makeup? So you do not want to miss it. Fred and I will be exactly here on IG Live. So the recording of this episode will be up tonight on our YouTube channel. Now, you know, we are hitting out to get 500 subscribers. We are sitting at 205. And we can do this together. So kindly just subscribe, hit the notification button, like, share, comment. Let us hear back from you. In the meantime, follow us here on IG. Tell us what you'd love to hear about. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on TikTok, follow me on LinkedIn, and actually click onto my website. Now, we have saved the date for you, which is the 12th and the 13th of April. We'll be talking about core values that will dictate your behavior in decision making. Very important. We have reached the first quarter. Our New Year's resolutions are out of the window. We've come up with new ideas that maybe we should have thought of, but it's all about your values. If you hold your values dear, then you will be able to stay on track. So let us help to build each other. And I will say, until then, be kind to yourselves. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.